Good morning and welcome to our reflection on Thursday, the 26th of January 2023. I could start by saying happy birthday to our son, whose birthday is today. Now, the birthdays of sons and daughters eventually remind us how old we are ourselves, so I won't dwell on that too much. But in a similar way, last week, I met a man who I remembered as one of my students when he was a boy. And he remarked that he was now 56 and that I must be, well, a good bit older than that. Age can be a wonderful thing, but it can also give people courage, confidence to speak out and say things as they see them. After all, little hangs on it, as careers are a distant memory and the need to conform to the norms of society are no longer paramount. Have you heard of Fanny Zimmertbaum? Well, probably not. You may have heard of Joan Salter, and that's the name that she is known by today. She's described as an 82-year-old woman with white hair and favouring a grey cardigan. I suppose she could represent any elderly woman, except a video of her has been viewed over 5 million times. Joan shot to fame, not that she wanted it, by joining the audience for a speech by Suella Braverman, the current Home Secretary. Joan asked the Home Secretary if she would apologise for the language she used to describe the people fleeing inhumane conditions in other parts of the world. The Home Secretary refused. Obviously, both women are entitled to their views, except one represents herself and the other represents you and me. I'm not trying to claim that the situation where thousands of people flee for their lives is easy or quickly solvable, but we are in great danger of slipping into toxic situations where one group of people demonise another. Joan Salter is trying to warn us that we could so easily return to the days when, as a 3-year-old, she was running with her parents across Europe in search of sanctuary. The Jews were fleeing for their lives, although thousands sadly did not succeed. The Irish, fleeing the famine in the 1840s, were hardly welcomed with open arms as they sought refuge with their nearest neighbours. And the Jamaicans of Windrush fame, who came to this country to support our industrial might, were received with very mixed feelings, and many still have not received justice for the way they were treated. Today, consider the headlines in much of our media if they are mentioning Polish or Albanian or Afghanistan people. Ask yourself how we would react if labelled vermin, swarms or skivers. When we hear various politicians, or read particular newspapers, or listen to some commentators on TV, do we filter their comments through our lens of Christianity? Do we accept what we are told by government ministers and fail to question their statistics or motives? Do we forget so easily the effect that language had in Germany in the 1930s? And do we consider the effect that language still has today? And if you think that is a fanciful example, check the statement made this week in Parliament that the government are considering banning positive pictures of people crossing the Channel illegally. Do we consider how so-called jokes, humour, or the anti-woke brigade can cause harmful divisions and so easily negate our Christian values of love, tolerance and humility? Tracy asked us recently if God is calling us to do something new or to act in different ways. Perhaps speaking out is something new. As we age, let us become more understanding and willing to challenge wrongs and injustice, just as Jesus did, just as Joan Salter did. Or as someone said, loving our neighbours means dismantling the systems that oppress them. Some words from a hymn by John Campbell, which we sang at St Andrews on Sunday. There's a new hymn to us, but the tune is Hark the Herald Angels Sing. So as you reflect, you can also have a good sing. God who sent us fiery prophets, fearless, faithful, all for you, still the strident call for justice speaks to challenge all we do. Living, present, urgent voices put before us vital choices. Will we work for God today? Will we follow in your way? Through such prophets still draw near, let your love sustain us here. God who came to us in person, walking with us here on earth, still the way you took in Jesus shows your wisdom and your worth. Selfless, sharing, kind and caring, learning humbly, yet so daring. For our rescue, flailed alive, spat upon, then crucified. Living Jesus, now draw near. Let your love sustain us here. Thanks for listening, and have a good day.